Welcome to Activations with JJ. I'm your host, JJ Brighton. Join me each week as we co-create a space for healing, alignment, and expansion. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Welcome to this week's episode. So glad to have you. It's been a really busy week for me so far, and I'm just riding off of the energy of the update I did on Monday, which was bringing through the energy of Luna. I love that name, which is another name for the moon energy. And as you know, very often associated with the feminine energy. So much to unpack there with that. And having kind of tapped into that energy, I've been pondering and thinking about what assistance the moon, Luna, would like to give. And just kind of little messages that I've been picking up on in little different moments of my life over the last few days. One of them was related to how we can access its source of power. And I've talked about that, I think, in the Energy Update Plus. Last week, the Council of Wizardry update talked about utilizing the power of the sun and the moon in ways we haven't before. Basically, that it was underutilized. The symbolism that came to me as I was kind of tapping into this Luna energy reminded me of a phone that was low on battery that you plugged in and then it was started charging. And so I interpreted that to mean that the moon can be a source of replenishment for us. Now, I think most of you guys understand that. I think the crowd that listens to this podcast totally gets it. And some of you may even be more well-versed than I am about the moon and what different people have said about the moon or channeled about the moon. The thing that it really reminds me of is how you put your crystals in the moon, right? In the full moon to recharge them. And it's that same exact idea. So I will kind of just set that intention that we bring forth more detail about that, or even activations related to that. I think that naturally we're designed to receive that energy, like there's some kind of an agreement or collaboration between us and the moon, the spirit of the moon, whatever you want to call that being. There's some kind of connection there that we've had, like that was pre-decided, I guess you could say, almost like a contract, where those of us coming down here on this planet, I know we were taught, I'm sure we were, that we would have access to different energies, that we would have access to ways to replenish ourselves, because I also think we were taught that this world would be pretty heavy and it would be an experience that would be intense. Now, I am not one to believe that just because we're in a lower density, now I believe we're kind of raising up in that, but that we've originally Earth, was at a lower density, third density. Now that's also debatable because there have been different civilizations on Earth, but anyhow, the most recent history. I believe we came into it like fully aware, and that it was just an experience we wanted to have. That doesn't mean it is going to be easy for us because I know that gets a little frustrating. It's like, well, you already knew what was going on. Like, you're fine. It's still hard. It's still difficult. So all these tools, I believe, were given to us. We just have to remember what they are, and our DNA has to remember what they are. I was listening to, what was it? I think it was Brian Scott, Reality Revolution. I don't have time to listen to a lot of podcasts right now, but I usually hop on and listen to his. And yeah, it was one of his most recent episodes. So as of the beginning of March 2021. And the book he was reading was talking about how our DNA was originally 12 strands. And then some sort of lower density beings, interdimensionals, came in. And they fed off of chaos. And they removed some of that, deactivated some of the strands. So there's stuff in those strands, right? They're deactivated. But I believe some of the things that we do here on this podcast is to activate the additional strands that are there, but just not active. And I believe that the moon has the power to help us activate some of those as well. In particular, helping us to tap into the divine feminine energy, which I talked about also in the energy update for this week. So let's go ahead and sit in that beautiful, gentle light of the moon as we close our eyes and imagine the fullness of the moon bathing us in its light. It may not be anywhere near your surroundings right now, and it may be daytime, but you can travel there in a split second in your mind, and it will be no different than if you were there in reality. So if we all set that intention. I come to you through my daughter, the moon. As a larger oversoul that embodies, as you would say, divine feminine and wisdom. Thank you for allowing me to use my daughter Moon as a conduit for the activations which I would like to impart upon those who are willing to receive and who are at a place of seeking for the comfort of the divine feminine, seeking for the flow of the divine feminine, and seeking for the replenishment the divine feminine offers. I would like to clarify at this time that all may receive this energy, for in your planet, many believe in lines and boundaries and borders, and delineations and categories, but you are all one. Gender is simply something you wished to experience physiologically on your planet, but all may be receptacles of the divine feminine to whatever degree they choose. They may be infused with the calming influence which I am here to offer. Allow yourself to release the frantic, to release the chaos, and to come into alignment with the divine feminine which dwells within each of you, which I will now activate with words especially designed for this purpose. Haila Ishana Lahia sholatanayasha. Anala adola anishtana ola. Abola anina oshtanalai. Halo ono oshatana. Abolunati na oshtanala ada. Adola ana ishtana. Adaula ana ishtana. Adaula ana ishtala. In pronouncing these words, I am calling forth the sacred energy of the moon rituals of the ancient civilizations of your planet, more ancient than Lemuria, more ancient than Atlantis, civilizations that you have no record of in the physical, but that you may tap into. These energies will allow you to come full circle in the history of your planet. For as you began, so shall you end. And the circle will close. The loop will be complete. And the wholeness of your planet will be restored. We would like to take you into a vision of this time by possibly describing some of what you would see, what you would hear, what you would feel, what you would taste. We invite you to close your eyes as I bring forth the images of a people. At first glance, you may feel as if they are primitive by their clothing, by their structures, by their lack of so-called technology. However, I ask you to look deeper, to look at their souls, to look at the energy that they emit, and to see the intricate and advanced way in which their psychic abilities were advanced and tuned and aligned with each other, with the planet, in harmony and in unity. Your internet, your social media, although it is fledgling, is the physical precursor to the spiritual connection, which will eventually exist on this planet once again, where all will be connected mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and the collective will act in the interest of the collective, and the individual will act in the interest of the collective, and the collective will act in the interest of the individual, because all will be one. At this moment, we would invite you to quote-unquote rehearse for this time. For those who are listening to this podcast, to this transmission, are wayshowers and have been sent to introduce this type of energy onto the planet in preparation for its fullness, in preparation for the masses to receive it. The few prepare the way for the many. begin to imagine a country or a place a great distance from you. Allow that country or place to come into view. And begin to imagine a group of people that dwell in that area. You need not focus on one. You can focus on, let's say, the size of a town or a city. And when that comes into your view, I ask you to begin to create your connection energetically with these people that to the naked eye may be so foreign to you, and maybe so far from you, may speak a different language than you. But as you connect with them and connect with their soul, you begin to realize how you are all one. And as you see the variety of people who you are connected to, this may be a bit surprising, for some of these people may not feel what you would call high vibration. But we ask you to remember, there is no high and low, there is no dark and light. There is only one. There is only source. Continue to simply dwell on your connection that has always existed, but that you are now becoming more aware of. And allow that connection to feel more comfortable to you. Allow that connection to feel natural to you. Surrender yourself to the feeling of unity and oneness. Take a breath. And begin to see the great tapestry now expand. Your connection not just to this particular area or people, but now begin to see the threads as they are woven throughout the planet. The connections, the grid, that you are a part of, that they are a part of, that we are a part of. And allow that image, whatever it looks like to you, to be integrated into your body, your being, your soul, to be activated in you so that all you say and do reflects the unity of all things, so that all you say and do reflects the truth of our oneness in Source. Hala Hishanala Atu Anishtano Olashta Habali Inashtana O Latinoshta Alootina 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 Thank you, my friends, for joining me for that amazing transmission. I'm so appreciative of your willingness to stand in a place and to hold space for a new earth of unity, a new earth which, as we were just taught, is actually the old earth, the full circle coming into existence. The old becomes new and the new becomes old. I so appreciate and love you. Thank you for co-creating with me. As always, the divinity within me honors the divinity within you. Namaste.